Good evening, everyone. First of all, it is such a great pleasure to be here tonight, and this is my hometown. So it's actually really good to be back. It's been too long, and I've just realized it really has been too long. It's time I was back here a little bit more often. So thank you so much for being here. This is like family. There are so many of you in this room that have been part of the Lionesses of Africa journey. There are so many amazing women entrepreneurs in this room. And tonight, I'm going to have the pleasure of introducing you to some of the real powerhouses of our continent that are building brilliant brands, potentially world-class global brands that you will hear so much more about over the coming years and months to come. So this is a real honor for me. And this is all about celebrating the depth of women's entrepreneurship that we have on the continent. And they are game changers. So when I say to you tonight, you are going to meet some women that you will remember and you will see for a long time to come. I mean it. So thank you for really taking the time to share this moment with us and be here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. So first of all, let me start by saying a big thank you to Will, to the rest of the team, to Matt for being such a key champion. Having Standard Bank as a group on board over this last 3 years of our journey has been really key for us. And really, we've walked an amazing journey together, and we would not have been able to do, as many of these women know, so many of the things we've done if it hadn't been for you as a bank and as individuals actually believing in what we're trying to do. So when I say I mean a big thank you, it comes from the heart, and I mean a big thank you for being a key champion. So thank you so much for that. Really, this is the start of so much more to come. This is the third Startup Night Africa event that we've held. We've just done 2 in Berlin. Many of you would actually been following what we've been doing and showcasing some of the incredible women in tech and digital that we took to Berlin. Now it's all about bringing some of the next generation and current brand builders from Africa to London, which we see as the real home of luxury brands, of powerhouse brands. So why not actually have our first Africa Startup Night here, the home of all great brand building. So thank you for what you are now going to hear and see, for being here. I'd like to introduce you, for those of you who don't know me, as Will said, my name is Melanie Hawken. I'm the founder and CEO of Lionesses of Africa. And what we are is one of the fastest growing and largest networks of women entrepreneurs on the African continent. We have over 600,000 women entrepreneurs in our network, in 49 African countries and in the diaspora. And we're now adding between 20 and 30,000 new women coming on board every month. So when I say fast growing, I mean it. And we have some of them here tonight. This is kind of like family gathering. And I'm seeing some of the women in our network that I haven't seen in a while, and some I've never met at all. And we've kind of talked online, and we've got to know each other online. We've showcased you, we've told your stories. But bringing you all together in a room like this, in a city that you call home, and that I call my old home, is really special. So you're going to hear much more about them all. So what do we do? Well, we are a network of women entrepreneurs for women entrepreneurs, and that's really key. We support one another. We do business with one another. We collaborate. We connect with one another. And that's really key. We're not an NGO that kind of sits and gives out donations and, you know, we all feel good about it, but nothing actually ever happens. We're a group of women entrepreneurs doing it for each other. Because I'm a genuine believer, if we can empower, as Will was saying, 1 million women entrepreneurs on the African continent, everybody knows, you know, if you invest in a woman entrepreneur, 90% of everything that goes through that business goes back into community in one form or another, whether it's doing business with other women entrepreneurs, or it's putting money back into education, or it's into family, or it's into community. The value chain is so much longer. So I'm a great believer, if we can empower 1 million high growth potential women entrepreneurs in Africa, we can change the fortunes of a continent. And I passionately believe we can do it together. And that's what Lionesses of Africa is all about, and that's what makes us different. So some of the things, just to let you know what we do. We do entrepreneur education. We do mentoring, and I'd just like to a big shout out, I've not looked in the room, to the Cherie Blair Foundation that we partner with. Are our team, yes, there you go, guys. Our amazing partners, Cherie Blair Foundation have the most amazing global women's mentoring program, and Lionesses of Africa has partnered with them to really provide one of the missing pieces, which is to give great mentoring to those women who are building great businesses globally and really need the support of people who've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and know how it's done. So thank you for your ongoing support. It's been a great partnership so far, and we look forward to doing so much more with you. Access to capital and markets. One of the real reasons, again, that we partner with big, powerful banks like Standard Bank is we know and recognize that women entrepreneurs in our network need access to markets, access to capital, access to the right support and the right professional advice and services if they're really going to grow. So for us, it was a really obvious partnership, and it's one that we look to really forge ahead with as we really build the next generation of great women entrepreneurs. And you provide some of the missing pieces, so thank you for that. And we also create a lot of really powerful digital media platforms and channels so that every day we do what we're good at, which is to tell the stories of Africa's women entrepreneurs to the world, to make sure that the right people are listening and watching, and that they can actually see who they want to do business with. Because at the end of the day, we can grow a really powerful community of women-owned businesses if we actually have businesses that are out there in the global marketplace, that are doing well, that are positioned, that people know. So the next generation of great brands, we want to come from Africa, and we want you all to be doing business with them. So basically, in a nutshell, we want to empower 1 million women entrepreneurs across the African continent to be the solution. Our approach is underpinned by 3 key things. We are firstly for women by women. That's what makes us different. Secondly, we listen, we network every single week, every single month. We are out there traveling across the African continent, hosting events like this for women entrepreneurs, and we listen to what they need and want, and then we find the solutions to how we make it happen for them. Whether it is bringing them to events like this, hosting events where we can connect amazing investors or people in the entrepreneurial network or the media, whoever it happens to be, that can be part of the success story of those women's journeys. So it's about connectivity. It's about providing the right support services. It's about getting them noticed and telling those stories. And that's what we're really good at doing, because we're women doing it for each other. And finally, everything we do is free. And that's really important because, again, it's hard enough being a woman entrepreneur in Africa without having to then look at how you try and position yourself and go out there and sell every day. It's hard. So everything we do is free. And the reason we can do that, and we have that ethos, is because we partner with really smart companies that get what we do. And Standard Bank and others are exactly those sorts of companies. And we'd like to partner with more of you. And I know there are some amazing companies in this room and some key decision makers in this room. Come talk to me afterwards. There are things I'd like to be able to share with you, and I'd like to be able to welcome you on board too, as part of this incredible journey we're on. So why are we passionate about what we do? And everyone says, you know, if you're going to get a message out there, and if you're going to make change happen and get things done, you have to be passionate. And the one thing I share with all of you, women entrepreneurs in this room, is passion for what you do. Because at the end of the day, that's our biggest sales tool. If we can get the message across about what we're trying to do, what our companies stand for, what our brands stand for, what the products are that we're trying to make, why we need to get them into markets, we are our best sales force. We can sell our companies and our brands and our businesses better than anybody else, but we need to get people to hear. So part of what I do is to make sure that we've got the platforms there where we can tell the stories of these amazing women you're going to hear tonight. And hopefully help to turn all of those businesses into big multi-million-dollar success stories down the line. Okay, everyone starts somewhere. We know in this room we have some of those amazing success stories already. We'd like to see the next generation emerging. So really, what's stopping these women from growing and fulfilling their potential? And the reason we're stood here tonight, access to markets. Okay, so what we want to do tonight is to really showcase what we think are some of the most exciting brands and businesses you are going to see emerge over the next few years. I think my microphone just went off, so I'll just carry on talking. Thankfully, someone said today, I don't need a microphone, my voice is loud enough. I don't know whether that was a compliment or a complaint. Take it whichever way you want. So brings me to tonight's event. Tonight, I'm going to bring together and showcase some of what we think are the high growth potential women entrepreneurs on the continent. You're going to meet 3 amazing women who've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, got the scars to prove it, and have great stories to share. And they're going to give a bit of an insight as to how they've built their incredible, basically sustainable brands over these last 20, 30 years. And then we're going to open it up to the next phase of pitches, when we're going to have women entrepreneurs that we are saying are going to be the next great brands to emerge on the continent. Some of them are already global, some of them are poised to be global. And you're going to hear them, and hopefully you're going to be as blown away by them as we have been. And you're going to do business with them. So that is the idea. So it is all about creating access to markets. And you may wonder where this concept came from for Startup Night Africa. So I'm going to share something with you because it is really it's about the power of connectivity to make things happen. So I was on the sideline of the World Economic Forum in Africa last year. And I was introduced to a woman that really has been part of an amazing life-changing journey for Lionesses of Africa. And she was called Brigitte Zypris. I don't know how many of you know her. She is, or was, Germany's Federal Minister for Economic Affairs and Energy. And she is one of Germany's architects of their pro-Africa strategy. And she's a real key champion when it comes to promoting women entrepreneurship. And I was introduced to her, we got talking, and we started talking about the biggest challenge, access to markets. So for the last year, we've been partnering on rolling out Startup Night Africa events. We did 2 pilots in Berlin, and we had life-changing results. And I want to just introduce you to part of that story. And that's me, sorry. There we go. So our first event was in October last year in Berlin. We showcased 5 incredible women entrepreneurs in the tech and digital space. And we showcased them on an audience just like this, of decision makers, bankers, VCs, and the media. And great things happen. And I want to share with you what happens when you have a key champion, you have a group of people that are game changers, and you have the right stories being told. So let me introduce you. You might know some of these women. Brenda Ketswazigai, founder of Wazi Vision in Uganda. An amazing woman. She's got a tech company. She developed a great app, a mobile app that is able to do acuity testing, eye testing. Simple thing, not in Africa, where people can't get access to eye testing. She developed a mobile app in rural locations, goes straight to your mobile phone, and they can diagnose someone that needs glasses. Problem is, you can't afford the glasses. So she's developed a solution from waste products to manufacture glasses at $2 a pair. By basically pitching her story that night in Germany and getting to know the network, she got funding towards $800,000 of startup funding from Germany. She's now partnered with some of the biggest tech companies to actually take this into a global marketing situation. That company is poised to go huge, simply because you get access to markets, access to the right people. Vera Schaber, founder of Schaber and Ramplin. Her company built a mobile app to report on green building solutions. So when you actually have these vast energy-guzzling buildings, she wanted to make them all green-friendly. And now she's consulting to some of the biggest companies in Europe and has partnered with a really big company in Germany and is now rolling out offices across Europe. It's what happens when you put the right people in the right room. Benji Kutsia, founder of Empty Trips, some of you may know her already. She's actually identifying with a mobile solution how you fill empty containers with products that need to be shifted at the best possible price, connecting customers with solutions. And she's now partnered with a really big German company and is now going global. Put the right people in the right room, you make things happen. Josephine Godwell, her company, digital learning, changing the lives of young people in her country. And finally, one of my favorites, Temi Tubasan, founder of LifeBank. She basically developed an app to be able to identify where blood products are, get them to clinics before that blood product actually goes off because it has a life expectancy, and has partnered with one of the biggest drone companies in Germany to now deliver blood via drone to anywhere in a key city location or in a rural location. Game changer. She's saving lives right now. No one had heard of her. You know, until you actually start putting these amazing people in front of markets, you can't get people to fulfill their potential. And that's what this is about. How do we get the world talking about these amazing women entrepreneurs in Africa that are changing the continent but could potentially change the world with the right people? So that's what this is about. So if you want to know how impact happens and why we have events like this, it's not so that you can all have a nice canapé and a cocktail and go home. We want you to be genuinely inspired by the women you're going to hear. And then say, how can I be part of that story? Can I invest? Can I open up a marketplace? Can I connect them with someone that I think might be interesting? Can I sell their products? Can I partner with them? Can we create something together? It's the power of going together on this journey.